Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Today, the Tigers have a chance to win their third consecutive Central Division title. It's an absolutely beautiful day for baseball here at Comerica Park. We welcome you to the third and final game of this series, featuring the Chicago White Sox and the Detroit Tigers. A Tigers win and a Cleveland loss, and the Tigers win the division. The magic number is down to 2. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba alongside Rod Allen. We are glad to have you with us here for the series finale. Well, I'm not sure we can really beat last night, Rod. I mean, that was probably the best we've seen in a long, long time. We'll give it a shot today, a chance to clinch.
There's no doubt that's going to be very, very difficult to top what took place here last night, trailing by 6, going into their final 3 outs, but somehow they pulled it out. And one reward for 45,000 people here today if somehow they were able to clinch another division title.
Yeah, that would be really cool. And, well, they got a guy in the mound that might be able to pull it off. Anibal Sanchez, what a second half it has been for him.
Well, he's incredible. I mean, the one thing that this guy does, he commands all 4 of his pitches. Fastball gets to 97. He can spot it wherever he wants to. Therefore, since July 24th, this is where he ranks as far as some of the important numbers in the American League. Wins second, ERA second, strikeouts third. He is in the Cy Young conversation. If you had one game and you needed to win that one game, and if it was me, I'm not so sure that guy would not be Anibal Sanchez. That's just how perfecting this guy's been this year.
All right, let's see if we can party today. After a short break, we'll send you back to the Call Sam Studios in Shannon Hogan. Final home game of the season. It was a magical night last night. Today, we'll see if we can make some more memories.
Voice will pump through the system, break out the rye bread. It's grand salami time, my oh my, another victory, yes. Under that late rain, demon in that night game, can't stop now, keep moving, no break pads. Came here to prove a point, live my life on the field, make history in between the base paths.
is presented today by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
It's been a great year for Sanchez, making his 28th start. He is looking for his 15th victory. That 2.51 ERA paces the American League. 4 legitimate swing and miss pitches that he can command at any point in time, and that's why the strikeouts to walks ratio is really, really good.
And we are ready for baseball this afternoon. Tigers and the Chicago White Sox. First pitch of today's ball game is outside to Alejandro De Aza. Gorgeous afternoon here. Temperature just about 60 degrees at the ballpark. Plenty of sunshine, clear skies. De Aza batting .264. And Sanchez deals a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And just about 12 days ago, Sanchez went up against Chicago White Sox, pitched 7 1/3 brilliant innings, did not give up a run, and he struck out 10.
In fact, back 10 strikeout games for Sanchez as he delivers another strike. 1-2 the count on De Aza. Tigers in search of their 92nd win of this season. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, struck him out. De Aza is retired, 1 gone. Here's the rest of the starting lineup today for the White Sox, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. You saw De Aza, Ramirez, and Gillespie will follow. Avisail Garcia batting cleanup today. Danks and Keppinger, and then Beckham, Fegley, and Semien in the lineup for Chicago. Here's Alexi Ramirez, who is back in the lineup today for the White Sox. And it's fouled back out of play 0-1.
Yeah, rare day off for Ramirez yesterday. Only his 3rd day off all season.
He is back in there today. He has 5 home runs this year. Was 0 for 5 in the opener. The 0-1 pitch. Low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ramirez has 39 doubles this year. It's been a tough season for him defensively. He's also stolen 30 bags. Here's the 1-1. Bouncing ball right back off the glove of Sanchez. It'll roll to second base, but not in time for Infante to get to it.
Let's set the Tigers defensive alignment for you this afternoon. Castellanos, the rookie, gets the start in left field. Jackson is in center field. Andy Dirks just slides over to right. Prince, Infante, Santiago, and Don Kelly are in the infield, and Alex Avila is behind the plate. Ironically enough, this is how the game ended last night. Infante hit a ball off of the pitcher, which trickled to Beckham, and by the time he picked it up, Don Kelly was scoring the winning run.
1 on, 1 out. Here is Connor Gillespie.
Natural instincts for a pitcher to get anything that you can, but if they simply let that ball go, it's an out to the second baseman.
1 ball to no strikes on Gillespie, batting 3rd in this game today.
30 steals for Ramirez on first base, and the one thing that Sanchez really hasn't done well this year, he really hasn't kept runners close. They have been able to steal bases against Sanchez this year at will.
Missed it way high. 2 balls and no strikes now on Gillespie. A stunning win for the Tigers last night. The White Sox seemingly had the game in hand, leading 6-0 going to the bottom of the 9th, but their bullpen imploded. And the Sox now have lost 9 of their last 11 games.
What was that stat we had last night? You got to go all the way back to 1947, the last time the Tigers trailed by 6 or more and came back to win a game that late.
Yeah, that's really how incredible that win was last night. Right back up the middle. Might be a double play. Nice play there by Santiago. Barehanded play. Relay not in time.
Ooh, it sure looked good, though.
Infante barehands the ball out of midair on the backhanded flip from Santiago.
And really, Infante needed to barehand the ball, because had he not barehanded it, they wouldn't have gotten 2 for sure. But as the fact that he did barehand it, redirecting the body as he was grabbing the ball with the bare hand, he was able to get something on his throw.
Oh, was that close at first base. And Sanchez thought we had the double play there, but not so. Here's Garcia now with 2 outs. That gets away and all the way into the camera well off of the catcher Avila. Wild pitch will advance Gillespie. RBI chance now for Garcia, who's had himself a nice series. 3 RBIs and 4 for 10. He has homered and tripled in this series, batting .282. Here's the 1-0. Bouncing ball back up the middle, and that'll get into center field. A base hit. This will score a run. It's a 2-out RBI single for Avisail Garcia, his 4th RBI of the series.
Garcia is going to be an all-star, and before it's all said and done, the Tigers knew as much. They did not want to trade him to the White Sox, but they needed a shortstop. They got a great shortstop in Jose Iglesias, but Garcia has a chance to be a star.
27th RBI of the year for Garcia. Jordan Danks will step in. A run in here for Chicago with 2 outs in the first. And Danks takes it low, 1-0. .239 batting average this year for the Chicago outfielder. They've got him in center field again here today. Has had somewhat of a rough series. 1 for 9, 6 strikeouts in this series. Strike called, 1-1. Sanchez looking for his 15th win of this campaign. It's been on quite a stretch, really, since the All-Star break. Garcia drawing another throw. He can steal, as Tigers fans know. He has a little bit of speed for a big guy. Danks waiting patiently on a 1-1. Now Sanchez ready. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Danks. Sanchez 10 strikeouts against Seattle his last outing. 10 against the White Sox the outing before that. And on the year, 189 strikeouts for Anibal. Runner goes, and a check swing roller towards second. Infante has it there, and the inning is over. 1 run on 2 hits, 1 man left. Here come the Tigers in the bottom of the first. To clinch the Central with a little bit of help from the Houston Astros. White Sox out to a 1-0 lead early here. The starting lineup for the Tigers, presented by the Michigan Ford dealers. And here it is for Detroit today. It'll be Jackson, Dirks and Fielder is your top three. Torrey gets the day off. Victor Martinez DHing. Kelly is at third as Cabrera gets the day off as well. Avila, Infante, Santiago, and Castellanos round out the lineup for Detroit, and they are facing the right-handed offerings of Eric Johnson.
Second time they've seen Johnson. He made his second career big league start against the Tigers. They roughed him up pretty bad, although his defense kind of let him down. A lot of unearned runs in that game for Johnson, but he's got a power arm that will get all the way up to 96 miles an hour. Good slider, curveball, and a changeup, and they really like him. They think he's on the fast track to being in their rotation next season.
Tigers got him for 6 runs when they faced him back in Chicago, but only 2 of those were earned runs. Jackson leads it off. And a bouncing ball back up the middle. On the charge, the second baseman Beckham, and it got him by half a step. 1 out.
Let's take a look at the Chicago White Sox starting defense. It's presented by Tim Hortons. In the outfield, De Aza, Danks, and Garcia. Beckham and Alexi Ramirez are up the middle. Simeon and Gillespie on the corners. Josh Fegley is the catcher, and Eric Johnson is their starting pitcher this afternoon.
Here is Andy Dirks. 9th home run of the season last night was a huge one to fuel the comeback in the 9th inning.
3-run big fly last night by Dirks has gotten him elevated to that number 2 slot today.
And he looks at ball 1 down low. Two 2-0 the count on Dirks. It's funny, Jim Leland was talking about that home run before the game today, saying in some ways, he goes, I thought it was going to be, oddly enough, a rally killer for the Tigers because it left the bases empty. That has popped up. Third base side and back out of play.
Jim speaking from knowledge. That's usually what happens, but it was a great at bat by Omar Infante to get a walk out of Nate Jones, and that just kind of restarted the rally again. But Omar Infante's at bat was as crucial as anybody's in that 9th inning.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, the Tigers, yes, they got to within 1, but the bases were empty, and it was a reset situation for Chicago.
Get down.
Into shallow left field, and it'll drop in. Base hit. De Aza trying to make a diving play on it, couldn't do it.
For the most part, De Aza has played center field this year for the White Sox, as he did last year. But his best position might be left field. He likes left field over center field, but didn't get a good jump on this bloop single off the bat of Andy Dirks.
That'll bring up Prince Fielder now with 1 on 1 out, and for Dirks, it's his 5th hit in this series. Ball 1 high to Prince Fielder.
Talking to some scouts that had watched Eric Johnson pitch in the minor leagues this year, and they simply called him the White Sox best pitching prospect.
Well, he certainly had the numbers to back it up. His ERA in AAA alone this year was 1.57. In 3 seasons in the minor leagues, an 18-8 record with a 2.21 ERA. So he kind of ran through the minors no problem.
He draws a lot of comparisons to Curt Schilling. And the reason for that, both guys have that same type of body stature. And both guys have mid-90s fastballs. And Schilling, the one thing he could do that Johnson can't quite do yet, and that's command the fastball, throw it wherever he wants to. Curt Schilling had precision with his mid-90s heater.
Popped up. This one should get back into the seats, and it does. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Prince. And right now, Fielder with a 7-game hitting streak. He is 3 for 10 in the series. Johnson ready with a 2-2. And Prince sends a ground ball slowly towards second. Beckham will tag the runner. And that's all he'll get. Dirk's going to run to second base, but he is signaled out by Tim Timmons.
If Beckham could do this all over again, he would simply, after Andy Dirt stops and starts to retreat, he simply would have thrown the ball right now to first base. If he throws the ball to first base, he gets the out, but yet he tried to tag Andy Dirks, and then he missed Andy Dirks, and then he didn't get anybody out. Well, actually, they did call Dirks out. Out of the baseline?
No, he tagged him.
Did he get him?
Yeah, they said he tagged him. But your point is well taken, because if he throws it to first, there's no way Dirks gets up.
No, he'd have been a double play.
And the inning would be over. But the inning is still alive. Here's Victor Martinez now with 2 outs. In there for a strike on Victor.
It's what you're taught as an infielder. You get the guy running back toward the bag as he did there, and then you can sort of get the out.
Oh, we missed it.
At first base. I thought he did, but I don't know what they called. Maybe they said he tagged him or whatever. But anyway, you get him running back toward first base, you get to the first baseman, and then you get that guy in a rundown.
Well, Tim Timmons signaled out as soon as Beckham went down with the ball, but it looked like he missed it. So I wonder if he did call him out of the baseline. 1 ball, 1 strike. Andy immediately got up and started running to second base. Popped up back out of play. 1-2 now on Victor, the DH today. An 8-game hitting streak for Martinez, who's been getting walked intentionally a boatload here on this homestand. Victor was walked intentionally in that 12th inning last night, the inning in which the Tigers eventually would score the winning run. And the 1-2. Bouncing in. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Martinez. A Tigers win here today and a Cleveland loss at home to Houston would reduce the magic number to 0. And that would mean the Tigers would win their 3rd consecutive Central Division title. Two and 2 on Martinez, who now has snuck into 9th in the American League in batting average. 303 coming in.
That is amazing.
You had to believe that they had no shot of that happening in May. I mean, with the start that Victor got off to, it was going to take an unbelievable second half, and well, here are the numbers.
He was hitting about 230 going into the month of July.
.390 July, .386 August. September not too shabby either. And he drives this one in the air to center field. Jordan Danks under it. And that is that for Detroit. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. On our way to the 2nd. Are able to clinch the Central Division title. They are trailing Chicago right now 1-0 as we go to the top of the second. And for Chicago, Jeff Keppinger will lead things off. It'll be Keppinger, Beckham, and Fegley. Sanchez allowed a run on a 2-out RBI single by Garcia in the top of the first. Keppinger at 248. Good series, 3 for 6. He's had a couple of doubles. One of the signings the White Sox made in the offseason. He's played the first, second, third. He's DH'd. Here's the 1-1. In for a strike, 1 and 2. Keppinger most recently playing for the Tampa Bay Rays, but he has played for quite a few different teams. Low and outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sanchez early on with a ratio of 12 against 8 after 20 pitches. Low and away again, 3 and 2.
Tigers pitchers, they've been able to rack up an incredible amount of strikeouts this year. But the one thing they don't do as a staff, they don't walk a lot of people. All 5 guys, really nice strikeouts to walks ratio.
Fly ball sliced to right field. Andy Dirks is under it. 1 out here in the second. Time for a game break now. Let's check in with Trevor Thompson. Go Chris Carter. All right, Trev, thanks very much. 1-0 Stros. There's a strike called on Gordon Beckham. Couple of doubles for Beckham, 4 for 8 in the series. And he fouls that one off at home plate, 0-2. .270 for Beckham. He's knocked in 23 this year. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And Beckham spoils that one back into the seats. Beckham's RBI numbers way down this year. I mean, this is a guy that I think they thought would drive in more runs in his rookie season. Knocked in 63. He'll drive that one toward left center field. Castellanos is on the run. So is Jackson. Neither will get it. And it's going to be a double for Beckham, who pulls in with a 1-out 2-base hit.
Gordon Beckham was a little tardy on the fastballs that Sanchez was throwing. He was throwing those pitches at about 92, 93. The count is 0-2, and he hung a breaking ball to Gordon Beckham. Had sped his bat up, and Beckham able to get himself a stand-up double.
It'll bring up Josh Fegley. Beckham has his 21st double of the year, 3 of them in this series now. Fegley takes a ball inside, 1-0.
I was talking about the Tigers and their starting staff and all the strikeouts they've racked up this year. They are approaching 1,000 as a staff. They entered play today with 985 strikeouts as a starting staff.
It seems like, and it's not this case, but it seems like on a nightly basis the starter is striking out double digits.
And there's 2 guys that you really don't equate to a lot of strikeouts. You equate them to a lot of ground balls, and that would be Fister and also Rick Porcello.
Bouncing ball left side, fielded there by Kelly. Throw is high, but he got it. Prince able to stay on the bag, 2 gone. Runner holds, and you're talking about the starting pitching, and you'd like some graphical evidence. Well, they've been awfully good. The Tigers starting rotation this year looks like this.
That's why many experts out there believe the Tigers are built to win a championship with the 5 starters that they have.
13 wins at least for all of them. And of course, Max won his 20th a couple of nights ago. Ball low to Marcus Semien. He's batting with 2 outs and a man at second. Semien at .293 in the big leagues this year. Started the season in the minor leagues. Here's the 1-0. Semien played his college ball at Cal Berkeley. In fact, was a teammate of the starter today. Eric Johnson's there. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Into the glove. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Good fastball there at 93. It had some late life on it. Nice tailing action. And ran that ball in on Semien.
Now the 2-1. Avila smothers it. 3 balls and 1 strike. Sanchez gave up a couple of hits, threw a wild pitch, and they scored a run in the first. Beckham has doubled here in the second.
What an absolute spectacular day for a baseball game.
3-1 pitch. 3-2. It really is. And the temperature right now is 59 degrees, but it's a packed ballpark, and with the sun shining, it probably feels a lot more warmer than 59. Picture perfect.
This venue is awesome.
Here's the 3-2. Got him, strike 3. Semien thought he had a walk. Not so. White Sox strand a double. A part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Jeep rediscovered the freedom of the open road at the Jeep Celebration event. And by Dan and Oiko's Greek yogurt, too delicious to be nutritious. Plenty of sunshine, clear skies here at the ballpark today. Standing room only. Tigers playing their final home game of the regular season here today. 3 million strong through the gates again this year at Comerica Park. A testament really to Tigers fans.
4th time in franchise history they've gone over the 3 million fan marker.
Here's Don Kelly to start things off in the bottom of the second. 1-0 Chicago. Kelly filling in today for Miguel Cabrera, who is out. He tweaked his groin last night. There was still some soreness, so Jim Leland wasn't really going to take any chances at all. He's given Cabrera the day off. Bouncing ball to first. Right there is Gillespie. 1 out. Johnson gave up a single in the first inning, but no damage. It's going to break up Alex Avila. Batting in the 6th spot today for Detroit. Five hits on this homestand for Avila.
That number 6 spot in Jim Leland's batting order has been a revolving door since Johnny Peralta was suspended.
There's a ball down low. Well, I guess it points to the fact that we knew the Tigers would miss Peralta's power a little bit, but it was also a guy you could plug into the 6th spot and not really worry about it.
He was an all-star this year, Johnny Peralta. And Tigers have a chance to get him back on this next road trip in Miami if they choose to do so.
2 balls, no strikes on Avila. The other developing factor here in the second half has been the bat of Avila, which has come alive a little bit. He just seems a lot more healthy now physically with the concussion problems he's had. 3-0. He's run the count in his favor. Waiting on deck is Infante. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That's it for a strike. 3-1. Johnson rated the number 4 prospect in the White Sox organization, a 2nd-round pick a couple of years ago out of Cal Berkeley. His 3-1 pitch is drilled down the right field line. Fair ball, going to go to the corner. It's going to be extra bases for Avila. He is on his way to second, and he will stop there with a double.
That is something that Avila has done with regularity the second half of the season. 1, get himself in good fastball counts. 2, when he gets the fastball, he absolutely clobbers it. Avila really loves the ball down in the strike zone, but that time he was able to climb the ladders with those quick hands and hit a bullet down in that right field corner.
So quickly now the Tigers have the tying run in scoring position. By the way, if the Tigers hit 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries.
Crowd getting into it early this afternoon.
33 sellouts this year for the Tigers, and this appears to be number 34 this afternoon. Here's Omar now trying to tie this game up. Ball 1 high. 1 run, 3 hits for Chicago. No runs, 2 hits for Detroit. Missed it high. 2 balls, no strikes. This is how Johnson got in trouble with Avila. He fell behind him, and Alex banged a double down the right field line. Infante is hit safely in his last 5. He delivered the game winner in the 12th last night. Here's the strike call.
Young pitchers like Johnson, because they've been so dominant throughout their high school days, collegiate days with power arms, they can simply throw fastballs by minor league hitters. But when you get to the big leagues and you fall behind constantly against major league hitters, you need to have the ability to take a little off. Slow the game back down by throwing a changeup or an off-speed pitch.
High fly ball hit pretty well to left. Will stay in the ballpark though as De Aza calls off Danks. That's the second out of the inning.
And Robin Ventura said that's exactly what Johnson needs to learn how to do.
There's Santiago. How fast do you think that game got on Robin Ventura last night in the ninth inning?
He did not expect, obviously, the Tigers to come back from a 6-run deficit, not with his setup man, not with his closer waiting in the wings, but that's the kind of season they've had. They've had a nightmare season.
You mentioned some of the numbers. They have lost 18 of their last 22 games. Ball inside to Santiago. Well, Ramon in the series is 2 for 8, but he has contributed in so many ways to sometimes go unnoticed. Last night he had a walk, he had a sacrifice, he had a bunt single. And will always give you a solid game defensively as well. As Johnson again falls behind 2-0. That's in there. Third straight hitter that Johnson has gone 2-0 against. He gave up a double to Avila, and then he got Infante eventually to fly out.
That's a nice recipe for giving up some crooked numbers a little bit later on if you continue to pitch from behind.
Good pitch, 2-2. Level the count now on Infante, or on Santiago. Castellanos would be next if Ramon keeps it going. Here's the 2-2. Little pop up, shallow right field. And Garcia will come in to make the catch, and the side retired. No run, a double. One man left. Tigers baseball today is presented by Bell Tire.
By Charter Internet, a couple of really special moments this season by Anibal Sanchez. On the 26th of April, he struck out 17 Atlanta Braves, establishing a new single season record for the Tigers. And then he was at it again on May 24th. He took a no-hitter into the 9th inning before Joe Mauer broke that up with a solid single right back up the middle.
De Aza will lead it off as we go to the top of the third here. 1-0 in favor of Chicago. Sanchez set a single game franchise record with the 17 strikeouts way back in April against the Braves. The 1-0 pitch. So he authored a couple of really special moments this year at Comerica Park.
Atlanta Braves, when they rolled into town back in April, they were flexing their muscles over in the senior circuit, and the Tigers just shut them down.
Now the 1-1. Swing and a miss.
Anabal's got that good slide piece working today, but he usually brings that with him every 5th day. He also has a really good curveball. He has a fastball that can get up to 97, and he has that Bugs Bunny changeup, circle changeup down and away to the left-handers.
Two and two on De Asa. Ramirez and Gillespie to follow. We're in the top of the 3rd here at Comerica. One last time from the home ballpark this year. The Tigers finish out the regular season on the road in Minnesota and then Miami. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, and De Asa strikes out for the 2nd time.
And another really good breaking ball at the bottom of the zone thrown by Sanchez. You will not get hurt down in that area.
Here is Alexi Ramirez. Bouncing ball left side of the infield. Santiago on the backhand. Nicely done. 2 up, 2 down. Hey, you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game today. It's presented by the new Mighty Wings. Using your cell phone, text Tigers, then a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338, or vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. Connor Gillespie now. Strike 1 on Gillespie. Fielder's choice ground ball. He eventually scored the game's only run. That was back in the 1st against Sanchez. Here's the 0-1. Bouncing ball foul first base side. No balls and 2 strikes. Gillespie came in batting .319 over his last 22 games, trying to finish up strong and getting a long look by the White Sox. He's played 3rd. He's played first base today. Oh, 0-2. Another foul back out of play. Sure would be nice for this sellout crowd to be able to watch the Tigers celebrate a division championship here. Of course, last year the Tigers celebrated in Kansas City. The year before that in Oakland. Here's the 0-2. Little chopper foul down the first base line. 0-2 the count remains on Connor Gillespie. Garcia will be next.
What does Kid Rock say? Ain't no party like a Detroit party.
And it's appropriate. Oh, 2. Inside. They were partying here last night, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
I mean, it took 12 innings, but those that stuck around, especially for that 9th inning rally, it was loud in here. Dirks with the big home run. Now the 1-2. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's that AT&T trivia question this afternoon. We're talking about the last time the Tigers were able to celebrate here at home. That's your question. When was the last time the Tigers actually clinched a playoff spot in Detroit? It would be nice for them to do it on the home field today. The 2-2. 3-2 now on Gillespie. fouled off. We'd mentioned as well as the Tigers going for the division title and a playoff spot, they're also trying to get the best record they possibly can. Right now, Oakland and Boston have better records than Detroit overall. In order for the Tigers to win the second best record, they would have to beat the A's by a full game because the A's have the tiebreaker. And so they would have to finish one game better than the A's. Boston came in with 94 wins, Tigers 91, Oakland 92. Meanwhile, this is turning into quite an at-bat here for Gillespie. This will be the 11th pitch coming up. And he finally got him. 1-2-3 inning for Sanchez, his 4th strikeout of the contest. Not about looking good after giving up an early run. Tigers with a couple of walk-offs against a couple of contenders. Boston, Johnny Peralta. Torrey Hunter did it against Grant Belfour and the Oakland A's on August 29th. Walk-off winners against Boston and Oakland. Two teams that are also headed to the postseason. Torrey Hunter's was absolutely electric that day. It looked like the Tigers might be swept in that series. And Torrey bailed him out. Nick Castellanos leads it off as we go to the bottom of the third, 1-0 in favor of Chicago. And Castellanos getting the start he left today. Nick 3 for 13 is a big league hitter. Hit 17 home runs in the minors this year, was an all-star. Here's the 0-1. 0-2.
Nice gesture this afternoon by Jim Leland to start the rookie Nick Castellanos on a sun-splashed afternoon with 45,000 people in attendance. Final home game of the year.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes. What have you seen in Castellanos? I know we've only seen him for a handful of at-bats, but really haven't gotten a long look here in September.
Well, I know he can hit because I've seen him hit. I watched him in the Arizona Fall League last year. He's put up some really good minor league numbers. Really nothing else to prove down in the minor leagues.
Bouncing ball to short. Alexi Ramirez has it there.
He just needs some consistent at-bats at this level. It's very difficult for young kids once they've been playing every single day in the minor leagues to get that September call-up, and then all of your starts become spotty. He hasn't had back-to-back starts, so we're not going to see what he really can do at this level until next year.
Yeah, and probably going forward for postseason, doesn't look like Nick will be a part of a postseason roster. That's not set in stone, of course, and things can happen, but going forward, the Tigers certainly have their guys that have done the job this year. It's a strike called on Austin Jackson. He bounced out back in the first 0 for 1. Tigers so far have 2 hits against the right-hander Eric Johnson. Single and a double. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Austin Jackson needs to score just 3 more runs to reach the century mark once again in his big league career.
1-2.
And that is the simple goal of most leadoff hitters. If they touch home plate 100 times per season, they know they've done their job.
So if you're looking at averages, had he not missed that month, he might have finished with about 120 runs scored. Swing and a miss. Boy, what a breaking ball there by Johnson.
I think so, because when he missed some time, Austin Jackson, that's when Prince Fielder and also Miguel Cabrera was sizzling hot. So they would have been driving him in quite a bit.
How about that last hook?
Off the table at 75 miles an hour. 12-6 breaking ball out of the hand of Johnson.
First strikeout of the game for the 23-year-old out of Mountain View, California. Here's Andy Dirks with 2 outs. Andy had a single in the first, but did not score. One ball, 1 strike. We've talked about how Martinez had a great second half, but Dirks has perked up in the second half. Avila has had a better second half. Santiago.
They're ready to roll. Once they clinch the division, they will pick 25 guys that are playing some really good baseball and some guys that believe that once they get into the dance, they can win it all. This is not a very cocky team, but it's a very confident team. And when they got together in spring training, they knew that they had enough to win a championship. It's that simple.
That man right there, Jim Leland, not only had to manage his team, but manage the expectations that come along with having the lineup that he has and the staff that he has. 2-2 on Dirks. Trying to get something started here with 2 outs. 3-2.
Andy Dirks has got that really short, quick, compact swing, and he can really hit a good fastball. So if Johnson is going to try to throw a fastball right by Andy Dirks, he's going to have a difficult time in doing so. Andy Dirks doesn't usually overswing on fastballs.
And Dirks given time as Johnson takes too long. Ground ball foul, first base side. 3-2 on Dirks. And he came in batting over 300 in the month of September with 7 RBIs as well. And he pops this one up foul. Back into the seats it goes. 3-2 the count stays. Johnson again ready with the 3-2 offering. Here it is. Pulled on the ground to second. Right there is Beckham. Going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Eric Johnson as we go to the 4th. Aníbal Sanchez back to the hill. Arby's new smokehouse brisket sandwich today. Arby's, slicing up freshness. And by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Packed house here at the ballpark today on a gorgeous fall afternoon here in the Motor City. It's 1-0 in favor of Chicago as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Avisail Garcia will lead it off against Anibal Sanchez. Garcia, Danks, and then Keppinger. 1 run on 3 hits today for Chicago. No runs, 2 hits Detroit. Garcia knocked in a run back in the first, the only run of the game, his 27th RBI. And he shoots this one on the ground to the shortstop. Santiago throws him out by a step, 1 gone. Hey, tickets for all potential American League Division Series games at Comerica Park are on sale right now. For tickets, visit Tigers.com for more information. Tigers trying to clinch here this afternoon and punch their ticket into postseason. Jordan Danks grounds it foul, 0-1. He grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. That almost hit him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the Tigers with a win today would finish with 52 wins at home this season, and that would make it quite a home season for Detroit. Right now, only 2 teams in the majors have more home wins. That would be Boston and Atlanta. They each won 52 at home. Tigers have 51 home victories. But this has turned into quite a home field advantage over the past couple of years for the Tigers, who've been really good in this ballpark.
You go all the way back to July 4th of 2012. And no team in the American League has more wins than the Tigers at home.
Ball outside. 3-2.
Very spacious ballpark. It's an outstanding ballpark to pitch in. And the Tigers hitters collectively have really learned how to hit in this really big ballpark.
And Danks gets a walk. 1 out, base on balls. Time for a game break now. Let's check in with Trevor Thompson. All right, Trev, thanks. We'll keep our eyes on that one. 2-0 in favor of the Astros. So Houston is doing their part so far today. There's a ball down low to Jeff Keppinger. Keppinger a fly out. That was back in the second. In the series, Keppinger has 3 hits. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that is ball 2. Sanchez at 62 total pitches. Sox have had at least 1 base runner in each of the first 4 innings, with the exception of the third when they went 1-2-3. Here's the 2-0. In there, 2-1. Low, 3 balls, 1 strike. Gordon Beckham due up next. He is waiting on deck.
And it looks like Jordan Danks over at first base entertaining the thought of trying to steal a bag. And a really quick throw to first. You might pick him off.
Slice to center field. Jackson on the move. He'll play it on one hop. It's a base hit for Keppinger, and the White Sox have 2 men on. Only 1 out. It's going to bring up Beckham. Chicago now with 4 hits in the game. Beckham has one of those, a double with 1 out in the second. They couldn't get him in, though. And he shoots one foul back to the screen. 0-1. When you look at the second half that Anibal Sanchez has had in his last 16 starts, in 13 of them, all but 3, he's given up 2 earned runs or fewer. And that pretty much has kind of catapulted him into the Cy Young conversation. There's a ball low, and I think you and I agree, Ron, that probably Scherzer is going to win that because his last couple of starts, he really got himself back on track.
It's a shame on the national scale that Sanchez really hasn't gotten his due because everyone has talked about Max Scherzer, and rightfully so. Max has won 20 games. And he's also on a team that you have the reigning MVP and Triple Crown winner in Miguel Cabrera. So when people start talking about the Tigers, they're talking about other people other than Sanchez, but he really takes a backseat to nobody as far as pitching this year in this league.
And there's even some holdover for Justin Verlander based on the year he had a couple of years ago. MVP, Cy Young. There's a swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And everybody wondering what has happened this year with Justin.
But Sanchez has been as good as any. And come postseason, the Tigers' strength, or one of them at least, will be their starting rotation. Here's the 2-2. Low and away, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I brought this up on Tigers Live today that it's pretty much a given that when they get to the postseason, Porcello will pitch out of the bullpen, but that is pretty good for the Tigers because you automatically get a guy that you can use down there in the 7th inning. You can use Porcello in the 8th inning. He's getting lots of strikeouts. He's not going to walk anybody. He all of a sudden becomes a very valuable piece to the bullpen.
Fly ball in the air, center field. Jackson is on his horse. He'll run it down. Tagging at second is Danks. He'll get the third.
Sometimes when I see Jackson turn and run like that, it reminds me of Chet Lemon. And the way that Chet Lemon used to run in center field at Tiger Stadium. It was 440 to dead center field in Tiger Stadium. So Chet Lemon, his nickname was Dusty Butt because he always stayed dirty. And he would roam all over center field. He made a lot of nice plays. I love Chester Lemon.
It must have been a blast for a guy that had the skills of Chet Lemon to play in that outfield because it is so deep. 440.
And he had those really strong legs. I mean, he wasn't real tall in stature, but he had, you know, a body like a fullback.
Who hung the nickname Dusty Butt on him?
I think it was Gates Brown. They used to call him Dusty Butt because, I mean, he would get up in the first inning and he would head first, slide into first base trying to beat out a single, and he was out by 5 feet.
There's a foul ball off the bat of Josh Vegley.
That was another team that walked around like this Tigers team does this year. When that 84 team, when they walked into the ballpark, and it didn't really matter whether they were on the road or at home, they knew on most nights they were the best team on the field.
Here's the 0-1. Down the right field line, slicing. This will get back out of play. 0-2 the count on Vegley. Hey, just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. No balls, 2 strikes on Fegley. 2 on for the White Sox, trying to extend their 1-0 lead. Swing and a miss, and the threat is over. They get no runs and a walk and a hit. Strand 2, bottom of the 4th coming up. Opening day, the New York Yankees in town on April 5th, and the Prince, he was the big star. Couple of home runs for Fielder as the Tigers beat the Yankees on opening day here in the Motor City. And Prince right now, 499 consecutive games played. He has not missed a game all season. He's just been the definition of a workhorse for the Tigers.
You're not going to want to turn those stations today. You want to stay with us all afternoon long, because we're going to have a lot of memorable moments this year right here in this ballpark.
Really almost too many to count. I mean, we had to sit down and try and pick out the best. There are so many that have been electrifying this year, as you might expect with a team that has won 91 ball games coming into play today. Eric Johnson, the rookie right-hander, back to the hill now for the Chicago White Sox. They lead 1-0, and Fielder sends it high and deep, and right on cue, Fielder hits it out, and we are tied.
We have another special moment here at Comerica Park. I see you, Prince.
Ooh, that thing's still going.
When he lifts and separates, it's a beautiful thing.
Prince has just hit his 25th of the year, 1-1 game.
Prince got a 4-seam fastball from Eric Johnson down in his nitro zone, and when he just simply drops the bat like he did at home plate, you know it's going to go about 400 feet from home.
Oh, the echo of that ball off the bat is something. Third hit game for the Tigers. They have tied it up on the home run by Prince. In his last 12 games, on fire, 426 with 3 long balls. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's a strike 1-1 on Victor Martinez. He fly to center field back in the first. 2-1 the count. Martinez himself has had quite a series. He's had 4 hits. In fact, he's hit safely now in 8 straight games. Johnson trying to shake off that absolute bomb that Prince just hit. Here's the 2-1. 2-2 now on Victor Martinez. Don Kelly will be next. The longest hitting streak of the year for Victor was back in the month of July when he was starting to resurrect his season. He had a 14-game streak in the month of July. And he has done a ton of damage this year against the White Sox. 433. Ball high and away. Now the count goes to 3-2. Here are the numbers over the current 8-game hitting streak, which has his average again over 300 for the month of September. On the ground and through, a base hit. First 2 Tigers reaching here in the 4th. It's going to bring up Don Kelly.
It's a breaking ball up in the strike zone by Eric Johnson, and Victor Martinez didn't hit it hard, but Gordon Beckham, the second baseman, was playing Victor to pull and couldn't recover to make that play.
Don Kelly 0 for 1 with a ground out. Ball 1 high. Miguel Cabrera gets the day off today. Came out of the game early last night. There's a fly ball, shallow center field, and caught on the run by Alexi Ramirez. Heck of a running play. We gave you that AT&T trivia question a little bit earlier. It was, when was the last time the Tigers clinched a playoff spot at home? Got a chance to do that today. The last time was 1987 when they got to the postseason, lost in the ALCS to those Minnesota Twins. October 4th of 1987. Here's Alex Avila. Because of the success the '84 team had with that 35-5 start, and of course winning the World Series title, you almost forget about that '87 team that also made it to the postseason. Avila looks at a strike, 0-1. 2-base hit for Alex back in the 2nd. Tigers have tied it up here on the leadoff home run by Prince Fielder. One ball, one strike.
Connor Gillespie down at first base. You kind of wonder why he's playing in front of Victor Martinez. If he was to simply play behind Victor about 3 or 4 steps, it would help him in getting to a ground ball should Avila pull one in that direction. And on top of that, you know Victor's not going to steal second base.
There's a ground ball. To your point, it gets through. Martinez on his way to third. I wonder why they would play him in front of the bag.
If he is playing 2 to 3 steps back on that particular play, he simply makes that play. Victor not running. 1 step and a dive by Gillespie. He does not get to him. The Tigers, they're in business once again.
So the Tigers now have a chance to take the lead. And there's going to be a confab on the mound now as Don Cooper comes out.
This is where Robin Ventura talked about the youngster, Eric Johnson, the fact that when the game does speed up on young kids, as it is right now. You got 45,000 people in this ballpark. You have a really good offense. You have a good hitter coming to the plate in Omar Infante. So the pitching coach has to go out there to slow the game down for the young pitcher. Because in reality, all he needs is one good pitch to get himself out of this jam. And that's the way you want your young pitcher to think.
Omar fly to left field back in the second. 1-1 game, but not maybe for very much longer. First and third, 1 out. They look for the double play ball up the middle. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Here is Johnson's 0-1 pitch. Line drive caught by the third baseman Semien, and the runners have to hold. 2 gone. Soft liner right at him.
It's a good breaking ball thrown by Johnson at 72 miles an hour. He had Infante out in front of that pitch.
So it's going to take a 2-out hit perhaps from Santiago, who is 0 for 1. He flied to right field his first time up. Bouncing ball right side, right at the first baseman Gillespie, and that is going to be that for Detroit. Yet they are able to tie it up. Prince Fielder absolutely unloaded on Eric Johnson. A long home run to right field. Kaboom! And the Tigers have tied it at 1. Up on the Prince Fielder home run, and the Indians continue to get a lot of production out of their bench, don't they?
They built a really nice bench this year. Guys like Ryan Rayburn, Aviles, Giambi, Yan Gomes, their backup catcher, and Terry Francona has done a marvelous job at making sure that all of his bench components stayed somewhat fresh this year, which is very difficult for a big league manager to do.
Marcus Semien leads it off as we go to the 5th inning here, and he shoots one to right. Base hit for Semien. Leadoff man on for the White Sox. Well, here's how things are shaping up in the Central Division. The Tigers have a 6-game lead, and again they can clinch today with a win here and a Cleveland loss.
Okay, who gets in, Texas or Cleveland?
Oh man, you know, my brain says Texas, but I'm starting to think Cleveland's going to do it. What do you have?
I got Texas staying in. Yeah, I do.
Here's De Aza, and he looks at a ball outside. There is something about that Indians team, though, this year that you start to wonder why they really aren't drawing bigger crowds in Cleveland to watch that club. In it literally to the very end this year. Here's the 1-0. Here's a question for you. Do you think the wild card should be more than just a 1-game playoff?
No, I don't. No.
So you're okay with the fact that you play 162 and then you can get bounced in 1 game?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it gets too long.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, even if you made it 2 out of 3, that pushes everything back. And we're already going to nearly in November. Runner going. Here comes the throw from Avila. It's going to be late.
We told you earlier that the one chink in the armor of Anibal Sanchez is the fact that he doesn't hold runners very well. They get really good jumps off of him when he's on the mound, and that's what Semien does here. Gets a running jump. Avila did all he could do to make it close, but Semien was on the way up when that ball got into the glove of Santiago.
So he's in scoring position now with nobody out, and the count is 3-0 on De Aza. Semien stole 24 in the minor leagues this year. And a ball outside. That's a walk. First 2 reaching for Chicago here in the 5th. Sanchez now has 2 walks in this game. Alexi Ramirez will stand in. In there for a strike. 0-1. Each ball club with 5 hits in this game. In fact, the numbers are identical across the way. 1-5-0, and each team has stranded 4. Gorgeous view of the ballpark from our camera high above the scoreboard in left field on a spectacular day here. Temperature up to 61 now. He'll shoot that one to right field. On the move is Dirks. He'll get over there to make the play. Runners will tag but hold. Ramirez retired, 1 gone. Every game counts. Deposits are now being taken for postseason luxury suite packages. And all packages include a credit to be used toward a 2014 suite package. Here's the phone number. Call 313-471-2222 if you'd like more information. Two on, 1 out. Here is Gillespie, the number 3 hitter. He drives one in the air to center, right at Jackson, who's backing up now, and it's over his head. This will get 2 runs in. That ball took off on Austin. Gillespie is on his way to 3rd, and he is in sliding with a triple. 2 RBIs for Connor Gillespie, and the White Sox lead 3-1.
The balls that are hit directly at the center fielder on the line are the most difficult to judge. Jackson paused momentarily, and the natural carry on that line drive hit off the bat of Connor Gillespie allowed it to carry over the head of Jackson, and Connor Gillespie continues to have a really good series against Tigers pitching.
Gillespie now with 38 RBIs. Tigers will draw the infield in.
That ball was up in the zone as well. Most left-handers like the ball down, but Gillespie was able to get up and hit a line drive over the head of Jackson.
And now Sanchez will try and strand this runner at third with less than 2 outs. Garcia already has an RBI in this game. And he pulls that one foul, third base side. No balls, 2 strikes on Avisail Garcia. Garcia became a dad just a few days ago. Birth of his first daughter, Anarea Garcia. Way high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And since becoming a dad, Garcia is now 5 for 12.
And that last fastball up in the zone on the 0-2 count was to set up this pitch. And that's the one thing about Sanchez. He can go 3 different ways now. He can fade the changeup down and in, or he can simply go soft breaking ball down and away.
High fly ball, shallow left field. Castellanos coming in, and it's going to be dropping in between Kelly and Castellanos. Throw to the plate, not in time. And another run will score as Garcia gets to second base.
Yeah, that ball stayed up too long not to be caught by somebody out there. Castellanos playing very deep, and he's playing well over at left center field. A hanging breaking ball off the bat of Garcia, and you could see that Kelly was having trouble. Santiago wasn't going to get there, and Castellanos wasn't going to get there either.
Kelly really had the only legitimate shot at that ball, and had he made the catch, the run probably scores anyway. So Garcia, with his second RBI single, he takes second on the throw home. 4-1 Chicago. Still only 1 out in the inning. Here is Danks. Ball low, smothered by Avila. Danks had a walk in his last at bat, otherwise a ground out, which makes him 0 for 1.
Danks is getting a really nice opportunity to showcase his skills, where they can see whether he's a starter next year or a role player in their outfield.
Strike called. Evan Reed is warming up in the Detroit bullpen here as Sanchez runs into some 5th inning trouble.
90 pitches now thrown by Sanchez. Threw 125 pitches his last time out.
Fouled straight back.
Our Xfinity high-speed pitch this afternoon on Anibal Sanchez, 95 with the top fastball. He can get there whenever he wants to. And he has gone as low as 73 with his curveball today.
Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Danks. Is he out? That was strike 3. Kevinger was walking to the plate. Danks wasn't leaving. And so we thought it was 1-2, but that was a strikeout. Kevinger was walking to the plate and then had to turn around. They finally called him out. Another strikeout for Anibal. That is his 6th of the game. So there are 2 outs. And a ground ball left side, and it's knocked down by Santiago. He saves a run, more than likely by doing so. Kevinger gets his 2nd hit.
Even if Santiago's able to field the ball cleanly, he probably would not have tried to throw the ball across the diamond. Keppinger would have beaten it out.
All of a sudden, 8 hits on the board now for Chicago. Here's the 8th man to bat in the inning, Gordon Beckham. Strike 1 on Beckham. He's had a double in this game. .271 batting average for the Chicago second baseman. And he's done some really good work against the Tigers this year. He came in at .347 versus the Detroit staff. The 0-1. Way inside. Almost hit him. 1 ball, 1 strike. So that gives Sanchez 95 pitches now. In there, and Beckham didn't like it. 1-2. Sanchez allowed a run in the first, now 3 here in the 5th. The Tigers got a run on the Prince Fielder home run. That was in the 4th inning. Missed it inside. 2-2.
He's got Beckham set up for anything soft outside. He can go fastball away. He can go soft breaking ball or changeup, because every other pitch has been inside. And there's no doubt that Beckham now looking inside.
And it gets away from Avila, and they almost scored that run. They tried to, at least. And Garcia made a wise choice in getting back to the bag. It's a wild pitch to advance the back runner to second.
It's a nice read by Garcia. He's off it as soon as the ball hits the dirt. Then he takes 5 steps and realizes that Avila was able to alert the baseball rather quickly, and he just goes back to third.
Full count now with 2 men in scoring position.
Second wild pitch of the afternoon by Sanchez.
There's a 1-hopper hit to second, and right there is Infante to throw him out. Inning over. However, Chicago gets 3. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
been outstanding right here in his home yard. He's simply dominant, winning number 20 last night against Chicago White Sox, racking up tons of strikeouts. Boy, has he been unbelievable this entire year.
His ability, as they keep saying over and over, and I know you've talked about this, Rod, to repeat his delivery, which was an issue early on in his career, really has been remarkable.
And there are many pitching coaches that didn't think that Max would ever get to a place where he could repeat his delivery and he would cut down his walks and his strikeouts would go up, but that's exactly what he's done this year.
Nick Castellanos leads it off for the Tigers. It is now a 4-1 game in favor of Chicago as we play in the bottom of the fifth.
Here's where Castellanos needs to look for that fastball, and here's where he needs to take one and hit it in the gap somewhere. Don't try to hit it to right field, but try to hit it to left center field if you get the fastball.
One ball, one strike. '17 homers, 74 RBIs this year for Castellanos down at AAA. Was an all-star in the International League this year. Ball low, 2-1. 37 doubles as well for Castellanos. Ground ball pulled. Deep and short. Ramirez quickly gets rid of it and safe at first base. It gets away from Gillespie. Leadoff man is on. Hey, the pennant race is on as well. Place a deposit on 2014 Detroit Tigers season tickets and receive 2013 postseason priority. Call 313-471-BALL or visit Tigers.com. Is there a better sight than the towel wavers in a postseason game? A chill in the air and folks getting into it. So Castellanos is aboard. Here is Jackson now. 0 for 2 for Jackson. He sends a ground ball back up the middle. There's one. There's two. And just like that, the bases are empty. 6-3 on the double play. Now Andy Dirks.
No help needed by Alexi Ramirez from his second baseman, Gordon Beckham.
He touched the bag. He missed the bag. He literally missed the bag. The old neighborhood play. Here's Dirks. Ball low, 1-0. There it is. You can drive a bike through that gap between his foot and the bag. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Got to be a 10-speed. You got to be one of them little bitty wheels.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
No dirt bike.
Still a bike. Here's the 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Dirks a single and a ground out. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2 on Andy.
Pretty good changeup there by the youngster Johnson. He hasn't thrown many of those, but that was a good one.
Well, I take it you're seeing some signs in Johnson that indicates why he is so highly thought of in their system.
Well, he's got that fastball, and he's not afraid to throw it. And that's the ultimate equalizer at 95. It makes every other pitch that he has a much better weapon, whether it be the curveball, the slider, or his changeup. There have been some uncomfortable swings today on his off-speed pitches.
Popped up shallow left field. Semien going back, making a nice running play to retire the side. We are on our way to the 6th. The Tigers down 4-1. Back here in downtown Detroit in a jam-packed Comerica Park. Final home game of the 2013 regular season. Tigers have some work to do. They're down 4-1. Got a wall-side windows pitching change here as Evan Reed will take over now for Detroit.
Well, Evan Reed just simply needs to make sure he can slow down the Chicago White Sox batters and give his offense an opportunity to chip away at their lead.
So Reed will face Fegley, Semien, and then De Aza. Sanchez done after 5 innings of work and 99 total pitches today for Ronnie Ball. Josh Fegley is 0 for 2, strikeout, ground out. Here's the first pitch coming from Evan Reed, who takes over, and it's hit in the air. Shallow right center field. Infante going back. 3 Tigers converge, and it's Andy Dirks to make the play. 1 pitch, 1 out for Reed. Here's Marcus Semien. Tigers last night out of the bullpen. Got some good work from Albuquerque late in the game. Benoit pitched a 1-2-3/10. Even Downs came on, got an out. They all had to chip in last night. Bonderman pitched as well for Detroit. Here's the 1-0 to Semien. That's hit hard to second base on the backhand. Infante, nicely done. 2 gone. Semien just hits the ball hard.
He's got some bat speed.
Here's De Aza. Alejandro is 0 for 2. He did have a walk and scored a run in the 3-run 5th inning for Chicago. Missing outside, ball 1. Reed is in his 4th different stint with the Tigers this year. Made his major league debut earlier this year in May in Texas with the Tigers. And he throws a strike on the outer edge at 95. ERA of about 2.5 with the Mud Hens this year. And a strikeout per inning. Now the 1-1. De Aza takes outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Tigers claimed Evan Reed off the waiver wire back in spring training. And he was with the Miami Marlins.
Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. Evan Reed comes on, has a 1-2-3-6. Does exactly what he needs to do. It's a gorgeous day at the ballpark. Tigers hoping to come back and clinch here today.
Comerica Bank game summary. Abasail, the former Tiger, gets his squad on the board first with a base hit right back up the middle. Prince Fielder, he hit a solo shot to account for the only run so far today for the Tigers, and then 3 runs turned in by the Chicago White Sox against Sanchez. That was in the top half of the 5th inning. Score 4-1. Sanchez pitches 5 innings here today.
Meanwhile, it is going to be Prince Fielder to start things off here in the bottom of the 6th, down 4-1. Tigers have been out hit 8-6. Fielder homered in his last at bat against Eric Johnson. And the first pitch is low and in, 1-0. Fielder, Martinez, Kelly. Johnson threw 75 pitches through his first 5 innings of work. The 23-year-old. Bender missing outside. 2-0 now on Prince Fielder.
Prince hit 2 home runs on opening day. And right here at Comerica Park, he has a chance to do it on the last day. Last home game, that is.
Soft line drive into right field. Stretching out is Garcia to make the catch. Avisail Garcia robbing Prince Fielder of his second hit.
That is a nice play by Garcia, because when Prince Fielder is standing in the batter's box and you're playing right field, generally speaking, you're playing really deep. Garcia plays a shallow, and I mean shallow, right field, and that's the only way he's able to come in and make that play. Great concentration by Garcia.
Here is Victor Martinez. Singled in his last at bat. Johnson this year was 12-3 with a 1.96 ERA when you combine his numbers between Double and Triple A. And at this point, throwing a pretty good game here against the Tigers. And Tigers got him for 6 runs the first time they met him. Pop that one up into shallow left field. Alejandro De Aza. 2 outs. Now Don Kelly stands in. What do we have here on Johnson by inning? He has been in the teens for most of this game. 0-1 on Kelly. Ground out pop up in this one. Strike called. 0-2. Johnson working quickly now. The 1-2 pitch. Little pop up foul back out of play. Kelly staying alive. Johnson, a former second-round pick out of Cal, who helped the Bears to a berth in the College World Series just a couple of years ago, the year he was drafted, 2011. Here's a ground ball pulled to second base. Beckham has it there. Kelly is out. So are the Tigers. They go 1-2-3 in the 6th. Let's go to the 7th.
than he did his first start against them a couple of weeks ago. They've been out in front of most of the breaking balls he's thrown. Therefore, he's gotten himself a lot of easy ground balls, a little tardy on the fastball as well, and he has really demonstrated a really nice feel for that 12-6 breaking ball this afternoon. He hasn't walked anybody. He's given up just 6 hits and 1 earned run.
He's been awfully good. The 1 earned run is the home run by Prince Fielder. That's it. His teammates have backed him with 4 runs as we go to the 7th, 4-1 in favor of Chicago. Ramirez, Gillespie, and then Garcia. Alexi in the ball game with an infield single. Evan Reed back out there for his 2nd inning of work. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Good pitch. Alexi Ramirez, most people in the American League know that he loves to feast on first pitch fastballs. Therefore, Evan Reed dropped a really nice slider on him.
Here's the 0-1. Threw him another one, and that's dropped behind third by Kelly. Stays with it, and he got him by a step.
No panic there shown by DK. Simply picked it up with the bare hand and made a really nice firm throw across the diamond. Ramirez has speed, but he does not get out of the batter's box very fast. And therefore, he hits into a lot of double plays, even though he steals lots of bases.
4 in a row retired by Reed. Here's Connor Gillespie. Ball 1 outside to Gillespie. Well, he had one of the big hits in this game. It was a 2-run triple over the head of the center fielder Austin Jackson back in the 5th. That made it 3-1 in favor of Chicago. They later scored him on a single by Garcia. Ball outside, 2-0 the count on Gillespie. Sanchez went 5. Reed came on for a 1-2-3 6th. Three and 0. Avisail Garcia waiting on deck. And he walked him. First base runner of the game for Evan Reed, and now Garcia will stand in. We were talking about this earlier. Gillespie this season has done some pretty good damage against the Tigers.
Yeah, he's shown up.
Got 5 extra base hits, 5 RBIs. So now Garcia with 1 on, 1 out. Missed it low. 1 ball, no strikes. Six for 13 in this series for the former Tiger against the Tigers. 2 RBIs today. And the man he was traded for, Jose Iglesias, or at least the man involved in that deal, unable to go again today for the Tigers. The hand that was hit by a pitch a couple of nights ago still sore. That's in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. One out walk to Connor Gillespie. Sliced the other way. That's a base hit. Gillespie goes to second base as Garcia singles, and time for a game break now. We check in with Trevor Thompson. Trev, that Michael Brantley, one of the more underrated players in the big leagues.
Good hitter and great hand-eye coordination. Doesn't take a big swing. His daddy also played the big leagues, so he's got some good bloodlines.
Here's Jordan Danks after the third hit of the game by Garcia. 2 on now with 1 out. Lifted foul back out of play.
That last swing by Garcia, classic Miguel Cabrera swing. Inside out, good fastball in, didn't try to pull it, hit a bullet in the right field.
Danks is 0 for 2, 1 for 11 in the series, but the shocking number is he has struck out 7 times. Here's the 0-1. Make it 0-2 now on Danks. And then Avila wants to have a chat with Evan Reed. Chicago in this game 4 for 11 with men in scoring position. The Tigers are 0 for 4. Oh, and 2 on Danks. Walk and a single, and the White Sox threatening again. Here's the 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Reed featuring that 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Keppinger waiting on deck. 4-1 Chicago. We're in the top of the 7th. Inside and low, 2 balls to 2 strikes. Tigers on their way to Minneapolis after the game here tonight, regardless of whether or not they clinch here this afternoon. 3-game series against the Twins. Here's the 2-2. And now he's gone 3-2 on Danks. The 3-2 pitch is outside, ball 4. He ends up walking Danks to load the bases. And that's going to bring Jeff Jones out of the dugout. The Tigers pitching coach will make a visit. Two walks and a single here in the 7th inning. FansMLB.com at bat is celebrating 5 years as your #1 mobile app for live baseball. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Tigers baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Tigers.com for details.
It's been a while since Evan Reed pitched in a game. You got to go all the way back to the 4th of September, and it was when the Tigers started that last long road trip. It was in Boston. So they had a trip through Boston and Kansas City, Chicago, and he didn't pitch on the last 2 legs of that trip. First time he's pitching on this homestand.
Well, here's Keppinger down with the bases loaded. And he looks at ball 1 outside. 4 runs, 9 hits for Chicago, a run on 6 hits for Detroit. Here's the 1-0. Sliced and caught. No, it's by Prince Fielder. That's a fair ball. That's going to score 2 runs, maybe more. Nope, they're going to hold Danks at third base. And now it's 2 more runs in to make it 6-1 in favor of the White Sox on a bullet hit the other way right by Prince Fielder. And that is the 10th hit of the game now for Chicago.
We've seen a couple of right-handed batters go the other way for a single and a double. It was Garcia who singled that direction. Keppinger doubling down in that right field corner.
I fell for the Prince Fielder deke where he throws his hands in the glove to make it sound like the ball was caught, but the base runners weren't buying it. Now it's 6-1. The infield coming in for Detroit. They've got no choice but to do that here. And there's a ball high to Gordon Beckham. Those are 2 big runs now for Chicago, and still only 1 out. Beckham has a double in this ball game. Breaking ball outside, 2-0. It's a 3-hit day today for Keppinger. And an even 10 hits is more activity now in the Detroit bullpen. Lefty Darren Downs heating up. Strike call, 2-1 on Beckham. Double fly ball and a ground out for the Chicago second baseman in this game. Infield in. Here's the 2-1 pitch coming home. And Beckham takes a strike. Breaking ball in there. 2-2. Soft line drive caught at second base by Infante, so the runners will retreat. 2 gone now, and that will leave it up to Fegley. 30 pitches into this relief effort for Reed. He has thrown 15 strikes, 15 balls. Two RBIs on the day for Keppinger, 2 for Gillespie, and 2 for Garcia to total up to 6 for Chicago. Fegley takes ball 1 way outside. Six runs on 10 hits Chicago, a run on 6 hits Detroit. Ground ball towards short. Santiago has it there. And it's in the dirt, but scooped by Prince on the backhand to win the inning. 2 more runs in for Chicago. Time now for the 7th inning stretch. Presented by Health Plus. impressive moments of this 2013 season. How about that backhanded no-look, no-problem flip from Victor Martinez playing first base against the Boston Red Sox on June 23rd. You will not see a finer defensive play than no-look to Smiley. And one of the more fun moments here at the ballpark this season. The Tigers, though, go to the bottom of the 7th inning here, down 6-1. They've been out hit 10-6 in this contest. The Tigers fell behind 1-0. Prince Fielder tied it up with a home run, and it's been all Chicago since. Meanwhile, they have gotten a pretty good effort, the White Sox, out of Eric Johnson, who's done some good work today.
You can see why they're so high on Eric Johnson. I told you earlier in this telecast that I spoke to several scouts that have seen him pitch a lot in the minor leagues, and they say he simply is a guy that will be able to pitch at the front end of their rotation in the future, and he has shown signs of that today.
So the White Sox taking a long look at a lot of their young talent down the stretch. Here are the numbers on Johnson, who's thrown 85 total pitches in this game. 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 run. Hadn't walked anybody today. And want to remind you to join us again tomorrow. The Tigers hit the road for the final time of the regular season. We'll be in Minneapolis tomorrow to take on the Twins. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock with Tigers Live. And the Tigers and Twins tomorrow at 7 right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Twins playing out on the West Coast this afternoon, so they'll have a long ride to get back to Minnesota.
You know, as they say, Rod, better them than us.
Yes, indeed.
Here is Avila. Avila Infante Santiago here in the 7th. Tigers have some ground to make up now. They're down by 5. And Johnson misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Avila has had a good day, single and a double. Average up to 227 now for the Tigers catcher. Drill to right field. That'll drop in. Base hit. It's a 3-hit day for Avila.
Yeah, Avila went down and got a 90-mile-per-hour fastball. His hands are working so efficiently now that even though that ball was on the outside part of the plate, he got out in front of it and hit it sharply to the pull field.
Omar Infante, fly out, line out. Ball 1 outside. Omar this season has been awfully good offensively, but from the 7th inning and later, he's hitting .331. Had the clutch hit in the 12th inning last night as the game winner. Good breaking ball there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Action in the bullpen. Donnie Veal, who came on to pitch last night, is warming up again. Drill to left field on a line. Right Deaza, who makes the catch. 1 gone. 0 for 3 now for Omar. It's 90 total now for Johnson, 56 of which are strikes. Ramon is 0 for 2, fly out, ground out. Johnson missing outside, 1-0. Couple of hits in the series for Santiago, 2 out of 10. Filling in for Iglesias. Not sure when Jose might be able to get back into the starting lineup for Detroit. Pull to right field. That's going to be a base hit. Avila will get to second. The Tigers have something going now here in the 7th. Jim Leland checking out the lineup card.
And last two batters, Avila and also Santiago, the base hits. Both to the pull field, both on balls up in the zone.
Well, the Tigers came back from 6 down in the 9th last night. They're down 5 here in the 7th today. Castellanos stepping in. Nick had an infield single in his last at bat. He is 4 for 15 as a big leaguer.
This is already the longest outing of Eric Johnson's big league career. He has gone a couple of times where he's gone 6 innings, but he's gone beyond 6 innings so far here this afternoon.
In there for a strike.
And Robin Ventura, his manager, trying to get him through 7.
Well, he's got Castellanos here. He's got Jackson due up next, another righty. Then it would be Dirks, and that's probably, if it got that deep, where Veal comes in. Lifted back out of play, 0-2 on Nick. Tigers in this game 0 for 4 to this point with men in scoring position. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball hit into left field, base hit. Avila coming to third, he stops there, and the Tigers have him loaded now. Second hit of the game for Castellanos. Only 1 out.
The hanging breaking ball thrown by Johnson. Castellanos got his hands inside and really was able to barrel that one up. Great effort by Gillespie, their third baseman. If you're Tom Brookings, you're down by 5. No need into running into any outs at home plate. Here's one of those situations where they simply want Johnson to grow up. They want him to pitch out of this jam in front of this sellout crowd against a very good offense. This would bode well for the young man as his future progresses.
Third time through the lineup this season. The opponents are hitting their highest total, 333. Jackson one swing of the bat away from getting the Tigers back into this game. It's 6-1 here in the 7th. Austin 0 for 3, double play ball in his last at bat. And he looks at a ball outside, 1-0. So Johnson now approaching 100 pitches. Fly ball. Right field. Garcia has it. That'll get a run in. Vila will come in to tag, sac fly for Jackson. And it's 6-2. 46th RBI of the season now for Austin. 2 away. And that's going to be it. With Dirks due up, they'll bring in Donnie Veal. So Robin Ventura takes the baseball from Eric Johnson. They go to the bullpen. Wallside Windows pitching change, and we shall return. hit for Andy Dirks. But in the meantime, time for today's Ace Hardware Scott's Fan Poll question of the game. Of these four, which moment at Comerica Park is your favorite this season? Is it A, the Sanchez 17th strikeout performance, B, Max winning his 20th, C, Miguel Cabrera's overall season, or D, the great comeback last night? Enter your vote by texting ACE, then a space, then A, B, C, or D to 37338. I vote for all of them.
You can't vote for all of them.
No? All right. I'm going to take... I can't pick. I don't know. Anyway, here's Donnie Veal. He has come on to pitch now for Chicago.
Last couple of years, the Tigers have seen Veal quite a bit. It's usually when Prince Fielder is stepping into batter spots, but now it is Torrey Hunter stepping in. He is pinch hitting for Andy Dirks.
6-2 ball game. Dirks done for the afternoon. He was 1 for 3. He'll give way to Torrey.
Torrey Hunter got it going for his squad last night in the bottom half of the 9th inning when they were trailing by 6 runs. He tripled to lead off the inning.
And then it just snowballed from there. Here's the pitch to Hunter, and he shoots a soft line drive, caught by Gordon Beckham to end the inning. So Veal comes out, throws 1 pitch. That's it. We go to the 8th, 6-2. Tampa, and the Tigers would take on the A's in the American League. Over in the National League, 2 wild cards would be Cincy and Pittsburgh. That Dodger Cardinal series would be something, and Atlanta would take on the winner of the wild card. But we still have some time to go, obviously. And right now, what is really interesting is to see who's going to win that second wild card position in the American League as Torrey Hunter stays in the game to play right field.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to go down to the very final day of the season.
It is shaping up that way as Marcus Semien leads it off. 6-2 in favor of the White Sox. He went around, strike call. Tampa right now a half-game lead. They've got the first wild card spot. Cleveland has the second wild card spot. Texas a half game out.
And Cleveland winning their game against the Houston Astros 7-2.
No balls and 2 strikes.
They're about to sweep them, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's a 4-game series if they're able to hold on.
I thought maybe Houston might sneak one out of there.
Agreed. It's going to take a comeback from them, though. It'll bounce in and away from Avila. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Evan Reed came on through a 1-2-3-6, but then he gave up a couple of runs in the 7th, and now he's back to work here in the 8th.
I was watching something just the other day, and they said based on strength of schedule, and the Cleveland Indians have the easiest schedule of any of the other teams that are in the hunt with them regarding the wild card.
Reed has just picked up a strikeout of Semien.
So you have to give Cleveland a lot of credit. They're just simply handling their business.
Yeah, just because you have the easiest schedule doesn't mean you're automatically going to take care of business, but they're beating teams down the stretch they need to. Astros a prime example. Here's De Aza. Alejandro checks a swing, takes a strike. He has fanned 3 times in this game, but also has a walk and a run scored. There have been 19 hits in this contest, 10 for the White Sox, 9 for Detroit. Way outside, 1-1.
Evan Reed, we told you, has not pitched in a game since the Tigers were in Boston on September 4th. And getting some work here today. He's thrown 38 pitches.
Strike on the outer edge, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Ripped into center field, base hit, second hit of the game for De Aza. He's on with 1 out. It's the 11th hit now for Chicago. Here is Alexei Ramirez. One out of 4 in this game for Ramirez, and an infield single way back in the first. Ooh, a huge swing by Alexei, almost lost his balance. And he foul tipped it right into the glove of Avila. White Sox in this game got 1 in the first. They scored 3 in the 5th and then 2 more in the 7th. Tigers RBIs in this game. Fielder on a solo homer. Jackson on a sac fly. The 0-1 runner goes. Here comes Avila's throw. Going to be late. Another stolen base. How much of a concern in that department is it in your mind right now as we head toward postseason? The Tigers really just have not been able to hold runners on or throw them out.
Well, it depends on who you play. I mean, there are a few teams out there that run a little bit more than other teams. But there is an issue of concern there. I thought the Tigers had started to do a better job at holding runners when the Kansas City Royals were in town. But the White Sox have kind of run at will here in the last 3 days.
Here's the 1-1 inside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
But it's something that they're going to have to pay attention to because there are some teams that have guys that pinch run late to come in with a steal of a base on their mind.
White Sox trying to get another run in here in the 8th. They have a man at second and 1 out. And a drive that goes foul down the left field line. Banging off the wall. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On Alexei Ramirez. More action in the Detroit bullpen. Jeremy Bonderman pitched last night. So did Darren Downs. He's still throwing in the Detroit bullpen. Here's the 2-2. Driven to center field, straight at Jackson. And De Aza goes back to second, 2 gone. We'll bring up Connor Gillespie. And it's also going to bring Jim Leland out, and he's going to make a pitching change here. So the skipper is signaling to the bullpen with Gillespie due up. They want Downs, the lefty, to come trotting in. Reed gives up the baseball. And we've got a pitching change here at Comerica Park. We'll be back. 6-2 Chicago. Homer in this contest. That came back in the fourth, his 25th of the year. Avisail Garcia has come back to the Motor City with a vengeance. 7 for 14 in the series with 5 RBIs. And Alex Avila having a good day today. 3 for 3, double, and a run scored.
No disrespect to Avisail Garcia. We knew he was going to be a really good player, and he's going to be a great player, but I didn't think the Tiger staff would have a difficult time with him with all the right-handers that they have and the kind of success that they have against right-handed batters.
Well, he's got the job done. As Darren Downs now will check in. Connor Gillespie due up in the lefty coming out of the Detroit bullpen. Gillespie had a 2-run triple back in the 5th. That's in for a strike. 0-1. 6 runs on 11 hits for Chicago. The Tigers 2 runs, 9 hits. Good block by Avila there. With 1 out, De Aza singled. He stole second base, standing there right now, and with 2 outs, Gillespie trying to score him to give them their 7th run of the afternoon. Pulled on the ground right at Prince, and he handles this one to retire the side. No runs, a hit. They leave a man at second. Here comes the bottom of the 8th. their back day here at the ballpark today, where all the players after the game are going to handle their shirts and give them to lucky fans. Rod, well, we've got our 2 lucky fans that we're handing jerseys off to. You've got Rick Szymanski over there. He's your winner. I've got Paul Iamarino. Good Italian name, Paul. We appreciate it. Outstanding. Here's your jersey. These are the jerseys that are off our back. And there's your jersey for Rick. We appreciate it, guys.
There you go, buddy.
Thanks for stopping up to the booth. Thanks very much. And enjoy Tigers baseball, all right? All right, let's get a comeback going here. The Tigers down by a score of 6-2. And we appreciate Rick Szymanski and Paul Iamarino coming up as they get the shirts off our back. A couple of Tigers jerseys. Well, the Tigers need to get it going here. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Prince Fielder leading it off against Donnie Veal here. And Fielder looks at a strike. It has started to cool down a little bit here at the ballpark. Clouds are rolling in. The sunshine has decided to depart. 62 degrees here. It's been a gorgeous day at the ballpark. Here's the 1-1 from Donnie Veal and a ground ball to first. Straight at the first baseman Gillespie for the out. 1 gone. So Veal has retired the 2 batters that he has faced so far. Here is Victor Martinez now. Victor in the ball game is 1 for 3. Is single back in the 4th. Oh, that ball is hit hard, but it's going to hook and go foul. 0-1 on Victor Martinez. Another sellout here today. 34th sellout of the year. 41,749. Over 3 million again. In fact, the total attendance this year for the Tigers, the 2nd most in franchise history. Tip the cap to everyone involved. Here's the 0-1. Right back up the middle, knocked down by Veal. Threw it low, but Victor is out. 2 gone.
And Veal wasn't in the position to make a play here, but the ball somehow hit him right in the glove. He didn't panic with Victor running down the line. Plenty of time to gather himself and nearly threw it away, throwing it over to Connor. And Gillespie, the first baseman.
It appears we will get a pinch hitter now here in the 8th inning. Don Kelly will not bat. Hernan Perez has picked up a bat. He'll pinch hit. Second guy that Jim Leland has used off the bench in this one. Torrey Hunter pinch hit in the 7th. Perez cuts and misses. 0-1. Tigers came into this day needing a win over Chicago and a Cleveland loss against Houston to clinch the division title. Cleveland winning today and the Tigers losing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Miguel Cabrera not playing today. He re-aggravated his sore groin last night. Had to come out of the game before it ended. And getting the day off today. 1-1 pitch hammered to the air down the right field line. That'll go back into the seats.
And the last time that Miggy had to miss a game, it came on the heels of him trying to stretch a single into a double, as he did last night.
Perez lost it in the air to right center field. Danks going back, and he'll make the catch. A 1-2-3 8th inning, which means we go to the 9th. last night. I know it's going to take a couple of huge comebacks, but in the interim it is 6-2 as we go to the ninth inning. The Tigers of course are headed to Minnesota, so if that indeed is the way it shakes out, maybe we'll just celebrate at Target Field. Hernan Perez stays in the game and he'll play third base. Here's Garcia to lead things off. Garcia, Danks, and then Keppinger. In the ninth inning, Chicago 6 runs on 11 hits. The Tigers have 2 runs on 9 hits. And a swing and a foul back by Garcia. 3 singles, 2 RBIs, and a run scored today for Avisail Garcia. Last time we saw him in Chicago was having a root canal, so he missed a couple of games.
When he did play, he performed very well in that series.
Bouncer to third, backhanded play by Perez. 1 out. He's going to bring up Danks, Jordan Danks. Couple of walks today for Danks. Strikeout and a ground out his other 2 at bats. Ground ball to second. Right through Omar Infante. Tried to knock it down, actually did, but couldn't field it cleanly.
It's one of those plays where if you're Omar Infante, you make this play all the time backhanded, but you had a chance to get in front of it if you chose to do so. And if you didn't field it cleanly, you would have been able to alert the baseball. But as it was, because the body was turned, the ball trickled behind Omar. He didn't know where it was.
It's an error. First error of the ball game for either team. That'll bring up Keppinger now.
Omar Infante also made an error in last night's game. Last 2 errors by Omar Infante have been mental errors, not necessarily physical errors.
Keppinger has 3 hits, 2 RBIs. 6-2, Chicago in the lead here in the ninth. Fly ball right field. Hunter is under it. 2 gone. We'll bring up Gordon Beckham. Let's say this about Chicago, Rod. I mean, they took a punch in the gut last night in the big comeback that they suffered, and obviously they're not going to the postseason. It's been a terrible year for them, yet they came out here and played hard today.
And Robin Ventura taking a look at a lot of young kids. His starter today was Eric Johnson, someone they expect to be in their rotation next year.
0-1 on Beckham. A double and 4 at bats for Gordon Beckham in this game. Bounce again, 1 ball, 1 strike. Sanchez went 5 innings today, then gave way to Reed. Downs came out of the 8th. There's a swing and a miss. 1-2 on Beckham. Here's the 1-2. And Beckham takes low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jim Leyland zeroing in on 3 consecutive Central Division titles. The magic number at 2 coming in. And if these 2 scores remain the same, the Tigers, White Sox, and Cleveland, Houston, it'll remain 2 as we go to Minnesota. It'll go foul down the first base line.
Every time a ball goes down toward Prince Fielder, he just slaps his glove. I guess it's just habit now for him.
Yeah, this time I didn't fall for it. He got me last time.
And I guess the reason why he does that is he wants the base runner on first base to believe that the ball was caught.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the 9th. 6-2 Chicago. And Downs again goes back to first. The big difference in this game, probably the 3-run 5th inning for Chicago. They led, or actually it was tied at the time. And then they scored 3 to go up 4-1. They have not trailed since. 3-2 now on Beckham, and with 2 outs, that means the runner will be on the move. Fegley waiting on deck. Runner goes, and it's pulled foul down the third base line. Now Danks will retreat. The Tigers in the bottom of the 9th have a Vila Infante Santiago duo.
It sure would be nice if they somehow could muster up enough of a rally which would maybe prompt Jim Leyland into pinch hitting Miguel Cabrera today.
He's already used Torrey Hunter. Again, the 3-2, and it's lifted in the air to shallow center field. Jackson comes in to make the play. So we'll go to the bottom of the 9th, and if last night taught us anything, it ain't over till it's over. And the Tigers are down by 4 as we go to the bottom of the 9th.
this afternoon in the bottom of the 9th inning. Can the Tigers come back? We shall see. Regardless, we've got all of your post-game coverage. You'll hear from Jim Leland. You'll hear from the starter today, Anibal Sanchez, Trevor Thompson, and Craig Monroe in our Call Sam Studios. Tigers Live post-game immediately after the game here on Fox Sports Detroit. Mario and Ron were awaiting a rally down here.
All right, we're going to try and get it going right here, right now, as Brian Pena leads it off for the Tigers, facing lefty Donnie Veal, and the bottom of the 9th is underway. Pena batting .300 on the season, pinch hitting for Alex Avila. Third pinch hitter used today by Jim Leland. The 0-1 pitch is outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. In the Tigers' 9th inning last night, they had 5 hits, 4 walks, and scored 6 runs. One of the more magical moments we've had in this ballpark in the last couple of years. Here's the 1-1. Inside, 2 balls, 1 strike on Brian Pena.
And they also hit for the cycle in that 9th inning, a triple off the bat of Hunter. Victor Martinez doubled, Miggy singled, and Andy Dirks. He had the big homer.
Veal has faced 4 out of the bullpen in this game. He's retired all 4. Pena sends a fly ball to center field. Danks on the run. Still going back. Not going to get it. Up against the center field wall, and Brian Pena leads it off with a double.
This one starting like last night's did, only it's a double for Brian Pena. Torrey Hunter, he tripled to lead off the bottom half of the 9th inning.
All the way to the center field wall. It's a pinch hit, 2-base hit for Pena. And now Robin Ventura comes out. He'll take the baseball from the lefty Veal. Pitching change here in Detroit. We'll be back. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock, Tigers Live will kick off, and it's going to be Verlander and Mike Pelfrey at Target Field in Minneapolis.
And Justin Verlander looking to go over 200 strikeouts for the 5th consecutive season, and has a really good shot at doing that when he gets the ball tomorrow against the struggling Minnesota Twins offense. And the Tigers have seen quite a bit of Pelfrey this year, and they've roughed him up.
So Chicago has gone to the bullpen. Matt Lindstrom will take over now for the White Sox.
And Lindstrom has a really good arm. He has closed in the past. His fastball will get all the way up to 96, 97 miles an hour, slider, and also a changeup.
Leadoff pinch hit doubled by Brian Pena. He's at second base. Here is Infante. Nobody out. Omar drops down a bunt, third base side. It's going to roll foul. That would have been a base hit.
Great idea by Omar Infante with Simeon of the third baseman playing really deep. The only thing, if he just gets it about 2-3 inches more on the grass, that ball does not roll foul down that hill.
Over 1 on Omar. 0 for 3 in this ball game. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Line to center field, base hit. Pena coming to third base. They're going to stop in there, and the Tigers have had the first 2 reach here in the 9th. Still nobody out. Here is Santiago. That's 11 hits now for the Tigers, so both teams have 11 hits. Six-2 White Sox, 2 on, nobody out, 9th inning. In there for a strike, 0-1. Ramon in the ball game, singled in his last at bat. Castellanos waiting on deck. And the 0-1. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Lurking.
Batting gloves coming on.
He was just sitting over there chilling.
Fouled off, 1-2.
Final home game of the year. Fans have to see the big fella, don't they?
I agree 100%. Get a couple more base runners here. And give Cabrera a chance to swing it.
This place will go simply bananas.
Now the 1-2. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Ramirez has it, flips back to second for 1. That's all they get. The run will score.
That's a nice job there by Beckham and also Ramirez. Nice communication, because when that ball first went up the middle, and both the shortstop and the second baseman were verging on the play, and then Ramirez simply told Beckham, I got it. And then that allowed Beckham to get to the bag to make the play. Good communication.
It's an RBI for Santiago, his 14th of the year. 6-3 ball game. 1 out, 1 on. Need 1 more base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. In for a strike, 0-1. Castellanos, a couple of hits in this ball game. Infield single and a base hit back in the 7th as well. 2 out of 3. Way inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Inning started with a pinch hit double by Brian Pena. Single by Infante. Fielder's choice by Santiago scored a run. Little chopper back to the mound. We'll get the sure out at first base. Castellanos is gone. So there are 2 gone now. Advance the runner. That'll bring up Austin Jackson. Last of the ninth here in the final home game of the regular season. Chicago 6, the Tigers 3. And here's Jackson stepping in. Sac fly back in the 7th, knocked one in. Ball one low. Lindstrom trying to finish this one out. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's a strike on the outer edge. 1 ball, 1 strike. Verlander, Pelfrey tomorrow, then Pfister, Diamond, and Scherzer, Correa. It's the pitching matchups for the Minnesota series. Breaking ball low, 2-1. Torrey Hunter waiting on deck. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Down the right field line, foul. 2-2 now on Austin Jackson. Lindstrom 1 strike away from giving the White Sox a bounce back victory here today. And the 2-2. Another foul down the right field line. Santiago, the runner, is second. Jackson trying to keep it going. If he gets on base, who knows what can happen. You got Hunter, then it would be Fielder. Swing and a tip for strike 3, and the ball game is over. So the Tigers will not clinch on their home field. They will have to do it in Minnesota. The magic number remains at 2 for Detroit, pending the outcome of the Cleveland-Houston game, but Cleveland is leading big in that one late, 9-2. Big game for Garcia. White Sox win it 6-3. Back with more.